Alrighty then. It is Saturday instead of Friday, and we are here for gaming with a side of salt. With me, as always, is somebody introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Mediocre Gamer Girl, also known as the Meg. What's up, y'all?
The Megalodon.
I was
Yeah.
about to say we need to make a shark avatar for Meg.
Yeah, I keep thinking Megalodon lately. It's weird.
Oh no, I intentionally. So I took the moniker Mediocre Gamer Girl because I am a mediocre gamer girl, but then I realized that you could make an acronym out of it for Meg, and then I just thought that was hilarious because of the movie The Meg. So
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot about that movie because at first I thought Meg from Family Guy, and then recently I was like, all right, so Meg's not going to be with us, so I've got to make a shark joke about a megalodon. And then you're like, oh, by the way, I'm coming. And then you got Chad down there who's having tech issues that he's trying to sort out as we speak.
No, they're fixed. I'm just
Oh.
getting this chat up.
Oh, okay, he's trying to get the chat up so he can stay focused on his task. And what is your task again?
Fuck if I know.
All right, he has no idea what his task is. Anyway, it is Saturday, so it's not the normal time, but whoops, I hit the wrong button. I have muted stuff.
But still the normal boomer.
Yeah, well, we got things to talk about. Most of it seems
Like how
to
I
be
beat you
DEI
as
related
Yajirobe.
lately. Do what?
Like how I beat you as Yajirobe.
That's right. He beat me as Yajirobe. See, he had 3 characters. I had 2 characters. And he beat me with his last Yajirobe strike because that's all he had left. He had no other characters.
And it was accidental, too. I didn't even mean to pick him, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's button mashing over there because he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's got assisted block on, apparently.
Which I didn't know I even had
assisted guard. Yeah, I found out that was done by, like, default because I didn't know what any of those settings were. It's like semi-automatic, automatic, custom.
Yeah,
I was like, well, just keep the semi-automatic, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I did.
We were trying out I was trying out stuff, and I realized people were just blocking automatically, and I was like, this makes it really, really hard to try out stuff. Why is this happening? And went into the settings and found out that, oh, it automatically sets you up to where it will block automatically, assisted. I'm like, well, that's gay. So
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't think that should even be an option.
I get accessibility and stuff, but
not for a fighting game.
The game playing itself is a bit far, if you ask me.
I feel like I didn't even win half the battles now because that was on. Anyway.
Well, there's several of them that are apparently on. So it's like assisted dodging, assisted blocking, assisted something, and other assisted things. So you have to go check them out in the settings.
Yeah, I turned them all off.
I think that you if you're going to play a game like this and you're going to use the auto tools, the least that you could have to do is go into the settings and turn it on. Like, if you're not going to learn how to get
just
good,
have them turned off by default when you're playing.
Yes, they should be off by default. If you want to put those options in there, at least make them work for it a little bit. You know, they're not going to get good at the game. At least work at sucking at it. You know, like
yeah.
Also, we'll have to check. I wonder if there's a way you can set the room to turn that off in multiplayer.
Well, I didn't see an option for that either. I want to find an option to turn that timer up when
they give you like 30 seconds to pick.
They give you
characters
45, but that's not much.
Anyway,
Anyway, we'll talk about sparking later. It's in here somewhere. But yeah, do what?
It's a fun game.
Yeah, it is. I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I think I accidentally did a what if scenario with a Cell earlier because I checked the objective and it said get hit by Cell's solar flare, and he had tried to do it, but I dodged it. And I was like, what happens if I just beat the snot out of Cell instead and not get hit by it? No, he dies. He dies in his first form as a result, and then the androids gang up on me and try to take me out. And then I have to take them out. And then they run away with their tail between their legs. And Android 16 Motherfucker plays fucking dead and then blows up on you.
Oh,
No fucking joke. This motherfucker was just laying there. I'm like, are you dead? What's going on? The battle's not ended. What's going on? And he just out of nowhere jumps up and is like, this is it! And grabs a hold of me and explodes himself. And I'm like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so now that we've got the pleasantries out of the way, how are you guys having? Hope you're having a fantastic Saturday night. And apparently SBI is on the run. Sweet Baby Inc. has wiped their client list because, nobody wants to be associated with them or wants to know that they're associated with them.
Yep. Now, as much of I see this as a W, I also see it kind of as an L, because now, unless we're very, very, very tuned to how they do things, which we kind of are, so, but the average person probably won't be. So they may go under the radar working with new groups.
Well, see, what's going to happen is if they wind up in the credits, people will have to play the game, see the credits, and then find them. But yeah, if they keep who they're working for under wraps, then again, since we already know who they were working for.
Yep.
So I wonder about this though. I mean, this is taking an L. I mean, you have to hide all of your clients because your clients are embarrassed by you at this point and know that your reputation is so crap that you will actually cause them to lose money. Which I mean, it does suck for gamers, because that was kind of our shorthand of knowing, oh, this game is probably going to suck. I mean, you could still kind of tell there are things that you can see in the trailers, etc., and go, yeah, this game looks kind of iffy, and then confirmed if you see SBI on it. But with them hiding who they work for and everything like that, I do wonder if this means that they're more concerned with money than they are actually with saying things with their whole chest. They're like, I don't care if your company has bad feelings about it or whatever. You need to be true to who you are, and you should be proud of the work that you've done. But if they're hiding everybody that they've worked for, that just means that they still want to make money. And they're not as proud of their work, I think, as they used to be.
Well, apparently, there was a thing about, I guess somebody from SBI was on an interview or something. They said their express goal is to destroy gaming, is to literally tank as many projects as possible. And I'm like, and you all are hiring them? Why?
Yeah.
I
mean, everybody needs a hobby and all, but dang.
I don't get it how anybody in their right mind can go, oh yeah, aren't you the one who said you wanted to fuck up every game? Yeah, we can hire you as consultants. It's like, why would you do that? Unless that person is also trying to destroy gaming, which chances are they probably are, considering how these people have invested gaming for the sole purpose of just taking it over, turning it into their own thing, and then watching it burn, apparently.
So the person who said that they want to destroy gaming, though, did they mean gaming as just the hobby of games, or did they mean they want to basically erase what is and replace it, like kind of like make it rise like the phoenix from the ashes?
And replace. It was one of those tired of the white gaming chuds.
Yeah. So
Vanilla white gaming chuds, right? Because that's their whole stick. And we need to replace them. The problem is there's no replacing them because they are the number one audience.
Well, that's the thing. They're going off of their philosophy as opposed to the reality that's on the ground. Yeah. So they're thinking that, oh well, men and women are the same, and it shows in these breakdowns that women are gamers too. And you go, homie, this is not the same thing. These are not the same types of games. This is using semantic games to try to get this out. This together.
They're doing that, and they're using fake numbers. Because every time you hear it, well, 50% or 47% of gamers are women, that means almost half the population of gamers are women. And what it doesn't tell you is, I have to bounce for a second.
What it doesn't tell you is that a majority of those female gamers are literally either single game players or mobile. Is what he was going to say.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was trying to get at. I was saying that they're not giving you the specifics of these numbers, and and people who are thinking that they can somehow replace the core demographic that has always been gamers are not understanding that they're like, oh, well, it's okay if the chuds go because we've got this other market that we just hadn't known was there all of this time. And it's because it's a failure to it's a failure to understand
the modern audience. We've seen how big they are.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
The modern audience is combined with the chud. So with these developers,
there's about 30,000 of them, maybe max.
Yeah, and the trouble is that it's what is that saying? They're lies, or big lies, and then there's statistics, and it's kind of that sort of thing. The lie is actually in the question. It's baked into the way that these questions are asked. They are asked to skew and obfuscate the truth as opposed to revealing truth. This is what we're finding. Sorry, what were you saying?
Did Chad finish my statement?
I did.
Yes.
About how?
Because I was in all kinds of suspense and unhappy about it.
Let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't hear what his thing was because I had my disability flaring up and all. But anyway, what they don't like to, or what they forget to tell you about that statistic is a majority of those female gamers are match 3 and mobile gamers.
Yep.
And those are not actually gamers. They just play, maybe not Candy Crush anymore. Maybe they play puzzle games. They play coloring games, artsy stuff.
Okay. All right. Let me just say, all right. I love me a good random puzzle game. I am currently spending entirely too much money, and I need to stop that. Actually, I need to uninstall this quote unquote game. Well, no, it is a game because I am trying to destroy my enemies. But still, I love me a good puzzle game. But if you're coloring on your phone, it is not a game. That is an activity. There is a difference.
That is considered a game because it's
that's
a mobile game
lie. That is using
from the thing. And that is something my ex-wife did a lot of. She did those color by the dots or whatever it was. It's like everything that's a 3 takes a rosé color or something. Like the thingies. But anyway.
Did your ex talk to my ex? Because they got a lot in common.
Oh, I'm sure they do. But those are not games. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, they're not games. They're activities. This is something to do. It is fun to do, but it's not a game.
And those are not the people I would consider gamers. Just the same way as the Call of Duty bro is not somebody who I would classify as a gamer to begin with either. It's like, sure, he plays every single Call of Duty that comes out. That's all he ever plays is Call of Duty. You can find him playing Call of Duty morning, noon, and night whenever he's free. But he's not an actual gamer. The term gamer is somebody who's more in-depth and plays games, as a hobby, but not just one particular thing. It's like the FIFA players who only play FIFA or football or whatever. I don't consider them as actual gamers.
Yeah, so I think that's what I was trying to get at. I was saying that we have a problem where statistics are being used to obfuscate. Language is being used in a way these definitions are used either too broadly or too narrowly. And the thing is that we're not understanding what we're talking about. When people say gamers, and you can mean anything from someone who plays this wide range of games, people who only play Call of Duty, and also chicks who sit around and play, I don't know, Sims or painting on phone. And I'm not a hardcore gamer. I am a really, really basic normie. But I mean, even I am offended by that. That pissed me off.
Well, you're more of a gamer than most of those women. So
yeah, I was about to say you play Zelda for crying out loud. Zelda, so it counts.
Yeah, but that's sort of all kind of made me mad. But the thing is that we need other words to use, and the thing is that because we have people who do not actually pay attention to language and the importance of it. They're like, oh, well, it's just words. But we use these words to actually mean something. The word gamer actually means something. It's these are markers that we use to get the point across. We're missing that now. So we actually need more words because of the fact that there are more types of people who do these somewhat similar activities, but they're very, very different in what they do. I mean, at least one of them involves trying to vanquish enemies, and there are other ones where you just sit around and color. I don't understand. You can do this with a book and paper. No, absolutely. I'm sorry. Just, somebody else take it. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
So I had a interesting thought while I was looking up the SBI stuff.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. That's about all he given time.
You got to ask yourself, how did they get there? Like, again, this is kind of in the realm of speculation, but like, did they just never get over no girls allowed in the little boys fort? Like,
yeah, I mean, that's usually what it is. I mean, if you ask me, that is my thought, because that's the argument they always make too, right? This place is not for you. It's no longer a boys' club. It's no longer this and that. It's literally the people who got upset because boys only, and then they just never gave it up. Like, they have been angry this whole time over it. So then they got themselves into positions of power, got themselves into these companies, got themselves into HR, hired more like them, and then here we are.
And see, the thing is that because there are two types of people like that, because I was one of them. I was a girl who wanted to play with the boys, and the boys didn't want me to play because they were like, no, you're going to screw up the game. And I was like, nah, dude, I literally want to just play the game. They thought I was trying. Well, they thought I wanted to turn it into a girl game, which I realize now. I mean, I didn't know it then. Then I just thought that they were douche nozzles. But I was just like, why can't I play? I don't understand. And these dudes are bros or poopy heads. And now, though, I get it because I've realized that. I mean, there are good faith chicks like me, but then there are these other chicks who would come along and they'd play for like 3 seconds and they go, you know what? It would be better if we did this. And then they start trying to change the rules and boss people around and tell them how they should play it and try to change the rules for themselves, make the game not what it was, and try to change the space. And you guys need to be nicer, or you need to do this. So basically you went into this game to basically take it over.
Female Marines.
Yeah, that's why the races in D&D mean nothing anymore for the most part.
Dude, I don't even want to think about that. Short rest during battle.
5e was great for bringing in new people, just the way the rule sets were redone and stuff. But then when they went to this new brand of 5.5e or whatever it is, no. It actually meant something to pick a race beforehand, and now it means absolutely nothing.
Oh.
So...
yeah, because they've actually confused equality with sameness.
Yeah, and on top of that, there's like they've taken out things like races. Like, you can't say races in D&D anymore because that's racist, apparently, right?
Well, yeah.
They're now called species, and it's like, it means the same fucking thing, you ass idiots.
It doesn't, but that's so more demeaning than just saying racist.
Well, for a general person, it means the same thing. If you're talking about creatures, and there's various different races of these creatures, swap the word over for species, it's the exact same thing.
It sounds substantially less human, I will say. Or
it does. It does sound a lot worse than it was. But
don't forget relations.
Oh yeah, relations. Which game is that? Lords and Thrones, or Thrones and Liberty? Sorry, Thrones and Liberty. You can't have a friends list anymore or a social tab. It's relations. So I apparently have to add Chad to my relations tab.
So now me and Zio are officially.
And that sounds even worse. It's like, are we in relations now? But how does this work?
Zio, we are now in a relationship.
No,
apparently.
Yeah, I was like, is there an announcement that's about to happen on Glass right now? I don't know.
I don't
no,
know.
it wasn't such a big deal, but it did make me laugh because
No,
it's
it
such a
was-
weird change.
We were trying to figure out how to add each other to our friends list, and we're looking through here, and I had clicked on this thing called Relations. Like, I think I found it. It's under a tab called Relations. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why? That makes it sound like we're doing something a bit more intimate.
Well, yes, relations actually means something. Again, these people and words, they do not words correctly.
No.
Between that, you also get to pick between thing 1 and thing 2. So never mind the fact one is clearly male and one is clearly female, but it's thing 1
there's
and
some
thing
pushback
2.
on that front, I've heard.
Really?
Yeah,
good on 'em
there's a
for-
lot of devs that are real fucking fed up, and they're saying they're not doing that.
Well, good on him for that. Because
And I think our next
we
tab
talked about
might
that
explain
last
it.
week with Dragon Quest because it
Yeah.
makes no sense.
But
You know,
the lack of difference between the species, races, whatever you want to call them, is literally because it's a failure to understand that just because you're different does not mean that you're not worth as much as someone else. I can be weaker, but I can also be faster, or I can have other qualities, and that's the thing. It doesn't make me worse as a person or worth less. And these people they're so insecure and they're so weak that they cannot say, oh, this other person is stronger than I am, or they're taller than I am. No, everything has to be able to do everything exactly the same. This is egalitarianism, but it's going to wind up basically wiping out all uniqueness and everything that actually makes you special as a you, which actually winds up making everybody replaceable. And it's also not true. But
the thing is, when I grew up, we talked about celebrating people's uniqueness. Being unique was a thing. It was a good thing. And that was growing up through the 90s and stuff. So I don't know what the hell happened to now everything's got to be some gray sludge where everybody's got to be the exact same across the board everywhere.
You know what happened? Women.
Women.
You know what was cool about my high school?
Blame it all on women.
I will say a lot of negative things about my high school, but this was such an amazing thing. We had a multicultural fair. Now, today, you would groan at that because you know what that meant. Everything but white.
Yeah.
Back then, we had people from India, people from the Ukraine, people from Russia, people from like Louisiana, different cultures within the states even, all set up stands in the high school showing off the food and their culture. It was a thing of like I didn't grasp it then because I was a kid.
Yeah,
that was such a thing of beauty to see like all these different cultures represented in a non-woke way. Like everybody was just kids making food. Their parents helped them the night before. They bring in like hummus. I don't know. I can't think of
kimchi. Anyway.
Yeah. And and if it was like India, it'd probably be like something like poop.
Yeah. Wow.
Look, I'm sorry. I've seen too many Indian foods to not rag on them. God love them, but wow, y'all need like somebody from the South. Zio, get down there.
I'll pass. Anyway.
Next tab.
No, I mean we had a similar thing too, and I remember distinctly how I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool because nobody knows I'm from Korea, which means I'm just going to show up with Korean shit.
Yeah. No,
and I did, and everyone's like, holy shit, really? That's awesome. And it was great. And then they tasted kimchi and thought they were dying. So
but again,
I would say the Indian stall actually did make a couple kids sick.
Yeah, well, you have to have a prepared stomach to do Indian food, especially for the first time. You're like, what is this? Now, I will say I actually like some Indian food. I especially like the naan, and some of their sauces are actually quite good. Basically, all of their food is just basically some sort of sauce with meat, and I'm all about meat. So
it's curry.
That sounded terrible. Anyway, moving on.
I like
but the
curry.
thing is that
Anyway.
You guys are right, though. This multiculturalism, as it actually exists, is actually not a bad thing. Now, I think that you should also kind of have a framework that you guys all can agree on, because if you have a culture that, I don't know, is like ours. I don't know, based on a republic and these Judeo-Christian values. And then you have another culture that, I don't know, eats dogs and cats. You guys are gonna have a problem. It's just that's just how it goes. I mean, so multiculturalism.
Can't name them by name, Chad.
Oh no, there was another.
It wasn't me this time.
I'm just saying you can't name them by name.
But there are plenty of cultures that do that. There was a video of I think a Slovenian family. I mean, that's like Eastern Europe, I believe. And they were charbroiling a dog. And the people who were watching it, there's the neighbors were filming it, and they were like, "Yep, and our dog's gone missing." And that wasn't their dog, because she would have known, because you could see the body very clearly. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, that's a dog." No. And you see this little white kid, running around, and I'm like, this is not about race, y'all. This is literally about culture. So multiculturalism can go a certain way, it can go both ways. But the thing is that
it depends on the willingness of a culture to assimilate to a new culture.
Well, you need to respect your home culture, I think. And
I'm saying, like, if I'm going to Japan, I'm going to respect their customs and their culture.
Yeah,
but if they come over here, I would expect them to do likewise.
Yeah, there's the saying "when in Rome," it actually means something, and it actually is wise. But they don't understand what multiculturalism means anymore, even though it was a good thing, when you guys had these multicultural, talk about your heritage or whatever. You can introduce kimchi and make people super sick, and it's amazing. But the thing is that now what it's taken to mean is literally just not white. And they'll go, "Oh, this is so diverse." They'll say, like, what is it? Black Panther or Wakanda Forever. "Oh, that's so diverse." Bro, it's just black people. That's not diverse. You don't know what diversity means. You're taking this word and you're using it to ill ends. And that's what we mean when they say gamers. And that's what all of this stems from: misappropriation of words and not applying actual thought to what we're trying to say.
Your stream's still going, Zia?
As far as I'm aware.
Okay.
What did I do? Did I do something wrong?
No, he's on probation.
Oh,
on YouTube.
On probation on the YouTube side, which is why I was like, don't say the name of the people.
Is that what? Is that why?
Yep.
Yes, because at the end of a segment, Chad said "fuck" and then a particular word you can't say.
Oh.
And it turns out that they're a protected class.
That's not a thing.
And
it is on YouTube.
I had to go through a class, right? And then the very last question out of the 7 questions was literally about the exact same thing Chad had done, just worded with different people and stuff. And I was like,
which means somebody watched his
which means somebody manually set that up and wrote me a question at the end to really let me know. And then it gave me a thing off to the side when I finally got it correct. And they're like, "That's correct. Blank are a protected class. They have protected status under the blah, 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 yada, yada, yada." And it's like, okay, so what?
I don't understand what you mean by protected class. You mean that we're supposed to see them as something other than human? They're not equal to us? They're somehow different from us?
We're supposed to see them as better than.
But the thing is that, again, that means that they're not equal to us.
Endangered species, how you're not supposed to, do anything towards an endangered species, they're also protected as well.
My God,
you're not even allowed to say negative words about them.
I'm gonna write a book. I'm gonna have to do it. It's gonna be called "We Come in Peace," and it's gonna be about not seeing people who are not white as something other than human, some sort of subspecies. It's really frustrating to me how constantly, if you say something that's even marginally intelligent and your melanin level is a little bit higher than, I don't know, paste, you're seen as like a dog that just played piano. It's really insulting. Yeah. It's very frustrating.
Thing is, Meg could probably get away with it, but she's a PNG VTuber, which means she'll be banned on everything in short order.
Yeah, mainly Twitch. They don't like VTubers, apparently.
Twitch has been on a warpath, but we'll get into that later.
Well, let's hard segue into over 95% of players don't consider inclusivity important in gaming.
Because it's not. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, a while back,
make it 96?
we went over this thing called the Capcom survey, where Capcom surveyed its player base
Mm-hmm.
to figure out some things. And this is what it came up with. The question was, what do you look for in a Capcom game? Exhilarating gameplay came out first, unique and attractive characters, unpredictable and exciting storylines.
That's fun.
Let's see. Depth replay, memorable BGMs, how difficult it feels to accomplish, novel world. Anyway, so there's really nothing here for DEI inclusion.
Yeah.
And we talked about how this is going to reflect real world.
Mm-hmm.
Because people made the argument, well, it's just Capcom games and that, and part of that is right. If you went and found the Maxis, or okay, I guess they're not technically Maxis because they're EA now, but if Maxis was still a thing and they had the Sims, SimCity, and all that jazz still under their belt, and you were to pull them, chances are most of the people in that puddle. Let's see if I can bring it up here. In this ratio right here would be flipped. You'd probably have 82% female with 14% male. Right? And of course, depending on the company and the kind of games they make, that's how that would play out. But for the majority, if you were to superimpose this onto the majority of gamers, I made the argument that real life would probably reflect it, if not more, on the male side. Because female gamers exist, but there's not that many of them.
We are a rare breed.
Yeah.
And I barely classify myself as a gamer
unicorn, and then I distinctly remember the fake gamer girls.
You are a gamer.
I distinctly remember the fake gamer girl trend that happened, where these women would take pictures of them playing games and stuff, and you'd look at it, and it's like your controller's not even plugged in. What the fuck? Or they've got like an Xbox controller, but they're playing on a PlayStation, and it's like that's not you playing. You're fake.
And yet they still got popular.
It's so embarrassing.
But anyway, apparently to the survey, 95% of players don't care about inclusivity. I wonder why.
I don't. The thing is that I don't know what it means, but my guess would be no. I know what they mean when they say inclusivity. I want to know what someone who actually first came up with that word actually meant when they talked about it, though. But I think that doing it for the sake of just doing it is often it's not important. If you do it just because you're like, oh well, I just kind of thought it'd be kind of cool to have this color person or whatever in there, that's a thing. I'm like, okay, whatever. It's not important, but it's aesthetic. It's an aesthetic difference.
It could be done right, it could be done wrong too.
Yeah. And the thing is that if it does it, the thing is that it's not important to the game though. This is an aesthetic change. If you made this person white, black, or purple, it just changes the way it looks. Does it change the way the game plays or any of these other things? No, it could still be an attractive character. Unless you're talking about inclusivity, like we must include ugly characters, in which case it'd be like, please don't do that. But yeah, I think that we've just I always want to know what people mean when they actually say these words. But yeah, they say now inclusivity isn't a bad thing at all. In fact, it's always good to see characters from different origins and genders. And the thing is, I'm like, maybe, but it's not important. I think that's the difference. It's not bad in and of itself, but it's not important to me.
It's like this. Say you have a character who is a fighter, but he's gay or trans or whatever. You can make a fighter that is gay, but you can also make a gay fighter. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
And I think that's where like a lot of that comes from.
Yeah, and the thing is that the people didn't say that it's a bad thing in this survey. They said that it's not important. And I think I'm going to agree with that. It's not important to me. I will say that there are times where I wish that there was more quote unquote inclusivity, which is to say not inclusivity, but more options. Yes, variety. Thank you, because I was about to say options, and that's not as good. But sometimes like I can only pick like one of 3 big buff dudes, and I'm like, I don't want to be a big buff dude. I
Well,
want to be something small that can run away.
you
So
know what kills me is this. This hair is damn near impossible for every developer to do. Okay, the shaved head either looks like literally a shell painted on, or it's not even like a buzz cut or shaved. It's like, because the thing is, you see like how it like it's bright here, then it darkens as you go back.
yeah.
Wait, there's hair there.
The
my
only
long
game I've seen
locks.
do it decently is actually Throne and Liberty, but they ruined it by putting a stupid design shaved into the hair. And I'm like, you know what? I'll settle for it, but I got like a swirly design on the side of my head if I take a helmet off. And I'm like, I hate that.
Chad's fancy.
Oh, somebody read this real quick.
All right, with the highlighted sentence?
Yeah.
Okay. Forced inclusivity was never a problem a few years ago. Ever since consultation companies like Sweet Baby Inc. emerged, this unfortunate trend has been forced into the industry, ruining many great games. Sweet Baby has a bunch of notable games working with it, including Santa Monica, Xbox Game Studios, Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, and more. The influence is quite visible in their recent titles as well. Square Enix should be appreciated for being pulled out of the should be appreciated for being pulled out of the list.
Basically,
they should be happy that they've been removed.
I think the word is appreciative, not appreciated.
No, appreciate. Square Enix should be appreciated at Pat for being pulled out of the list. When what they meant to say was pull out, because
for pulling themselves out, because that's a passive term. Being pulled out means that somebody else did it too, but not they did it. So, all right, whatever the grammar in that sentence. Pain. But anyway, one of Sweet Baby's employees even admitted that the company's goal is to burn the industry to the ground, indicating a massive threat to the gaming industry. Nonetheless, this trend needs to stop. Otherwise, we'll see a lot more big budget games fail poorly. Concur.
But yeah,
I mean, the thing is that
this has been a problem since like 2014, though. So,
and it just depends on what kind of inclusivity. I mean, Chad really wants inclusivity for hair. He really, lack of hair. He wants the lack of hair to be very, very a very specific way, and that
I feel not represented. Damn it!
He is not seen right now. Gaming industry. He is unseen.
Oh, poor Chad.
The unseen.
Forever be unseen.
Actually, it sounds like a badass name.
I know, dude. You totally. Anytime that you play a game and they don't have your hair type, you are Chad the Unseen.
I might actually start adopting that moniker.
You must. It is fantastic. I am so proud of me right now. Go ahead.
You made a good one there. He'll use it forever now.
I will.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's when they're forcing this stuff in. It's like I was ranting before it got pulled down off of YouTube. If you want to see the full rant, go to Rumble, where it's still up. But anyway, it's like the way they do it now. It's, hey guys, I'm gay. My name is Chad Gay. Oh, by the way, did you know I was gay? And that's all they do throughout the entire thing. It's like you're constantly in your face, or it's in your face and it's a stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly the stereotype. It's like, don't forget, I'm gay, and I'm going to make sure every movement I make reminds you that I'm gay.
What was that
it's
game?
Like, why is that necessary?
That game? There was a game that had like a black character, and they had I think it was Black Girl Gamer was the consulting group. I think it might be.
Forspoken.
That's it. And the character was nothing but a stereotype, and the whole reason they brought in that group was to not have that character be a stereotype, and it went.
Yeah. The thing is that if you're going to say, I need to actively represent a person, you're going to go to a stereotype. That just is what it is, you know? I need to represent someone who is of this group. Well, it's going to be based upon a stereotype, because stereotypes are not necessarily wrong. They're just what is the average in that group, or what's perceived to be the average in that group. Saying black people like fried chicken. Well, Yeah. Also, duh, because fried chicken is delicious. Well, when
Indeed.
done
Everybody loves
correctly.
fried chicken.
There is
But
terrible
anyway,
fried chicken, by the way. But
there is.
yeah. I mean, that's a thing. But it's like, okay, well, let's just say that that's a thing. Or black people tend to like hip hop music. Yeah. Okay.
And YouTube,
So
she's black. Stop.
half black, but whatever.
We're
sorry. I'm sorry.
half
For the
black
case of this,
Meg.
yes, that's right. According to the rules of the black community, if you have any black in you, if they feel like
Right.
claiming you, they will.
Meg's got to
That's how it
change her
goes.
name to half black Meg.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Quarter black Garrett, half black Meg.
Yeah.
Yes.
So frustrating. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing though. Stereotypes are actually a thing. They actually do exist, but
Yeah,
pulling
like,
people, the thing is that if you're going to try to not be offensive, you want to not play to a stereotype, and unfortunately a lot of these groups only live in the stereotype. They only find validation in being part of a homogenous group.
I'm convinced that their entire mindset is the stereotype at this point.
They are the Borg.
That's all they are. It's like
they're the Borg of blackness.
Oh, the
One might
Borg
say
of whatever
black
they
Borg.
are at this point.
Yes. Yeah, and
I mean, it's their entire personality. You're trans. Okay, so what? And then you just got to remind you all the time that they are.
Yeah, and the thing, there's a difference between culture and color, that they're not the same. I am culturally not exactly what you'd call quote unquote black. I was raised in a black neighborhood. I was raised with a family, and I mean, I didn't even know I was half Mexican until I was much older. So, I mean, for all intents and purposes, I have the quote unquote black experience, but I don't do things that are in the mean, in the average, what quote unquote black people do as an average. But the thing is that to tell me, anyone who tells me that I'm black, well, they can screw right off, because no, you cannot take my ancestry from me, you idiot. I have a
But
friend
you're not
who's
black enough.
I have a friend who's white, and I keep telling her because I think it's funny, because there's a group of us, and there's like two of us are black and one of us is white, and the white one, I keep telling her, I'm like, you're blacker than both of us put together. It's so funny. Because she is, hoop earrings, sometimes wears braids because reasons, and loves the R&B and the stuff, and she's like, oh, you know this group? I totally don't, but I will tell you tomorrow about Anya's new album that's coming up, because I'm excited. So
well, that makes one of us.
no, you can't be excited about Anya. You can fall asleep to Anya. You can be like, I'm gonna have a good nap tomorrow. It's gonna be amazing. That's
Pretty
that's
sure
Anya.
when Anya is.
You'll if you hear one of her songs, you'd know. It's music to burn incense, take a good nap, have a good cry to, or something like that. It's just
all things I don't do.
Anyway. If you want to relax, you listen to Enya, basically.
Yeah, it like Return to Innocence is legit relaxing. Okay, next one.
Alrighty, so
wait, did you?
Whatever reason, for some reason, apparently the Kamala Harris campaign is going to stream World of Warcraft the other night. Apparently, I guess. Did anybody see how that even turned out?
I did not.
Oh my gosh. You see the line underneath it, the tagline? Wow. More like, wow, get off the computer and go vote. Dude, this is very much the Hillary Clinton Pokemon go to the polls.
Yeah,
please don't. Please clap levels cringe. Don't do this, guys. I mean, I don't like you, but let me give you advice. Do not do this, and if you do, totally don't send out Tim Walz of all people. Do it with Kamala Harris. I mean, she's cringe, but at least you'll go, okay, well, she's a girl. Girls get more slack. Dudes don't.
No.
Jazz hands Walls cannot pull it off.
No, this headline. Please tell me this is not the headline we're going with. Harris campaign hires gamer to play World of Warcraft next to Tim Walz.
Yes.
No. I thought it was supposed to be Kamala.
I thought so too.
No, it was Walz. That's why I'm saying that.
No, I thought Kamala was going to play.
I thought so too when I first heard it.
With people, and then Tim Walz was going to be there with her. No.
This is what they did.
Wow, I thought
this is so bootleg and bad. It's cringe. It's bootleg. It's lame. It's just all. There is no
worse
world.
than I thought.
I mean, this is like an anti-vote.
Sorry, if I got to
This
deal with this rough night, you are too. You are not leaving.
This is traumatizing. I mean, can
Somebody
you
find me
imagine?
footage. I need
Legitimately,
the footage.
Rough Nut tried to get up as soon as you started talking about this, and I'm like, no, you're suffering with me.
Somebody find me footage.
All right,
I
I'm on
can't
it.
find it. It's not popping up anywhere.
Do you really think they went through with it after the? Oh, they might have.
Oh, they
They
did.
might
They absolutely
have.
did.
I wonder if they
Oh.
like auto deleted it, so if nobody was, there to record it as going. Oh, come on! Is there a Kamala
Oh
Harris?
no, these are
Twitch
reacts to
account?
my live stream. Okay, so dude must be preheat. There we go. Let's click on you.
Okay.
We each face a question.
Got it.
No, I don't know, but Kamala Harris has a Twitch account.
Yeah, that's where it was supposed to be at supposedly, but
Do we know what day this was?
it was a few days ago, or maybe yesterday is when it was supposed to have happened. Yesterday, Tim wants. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Walt's game day 3 days ago. This happened.
Oh yeah.
This really happened.
Oh no, they did the ADHD thing where like Subway Surfers playing next to what's actually going on. That is embarrassing.
Okay.
Also, could technically be considered a form of
Just like
attempted brainwashing because of
Yeah,
subliminal messaging.
The values that the Republicans were claiming to care about didn't really align with my own values, and what I was seeing in the real world didn't really match what I was told when I was growing up.
So they got
So, stuff like simping for billionaires when the average Americans are working multiple jobs to make ends meet.
Yep.
Trying to regulate people's personal choices with their own bodies.
Good read, guy.
Of social safety.
These people are so addicted to not thinking, and it's just a bunch of feels and vibes.
Oh, no,
Someone
this-
says, "You
this
don't want to be
guy's
mean, do you?"
great.
They go, "No, I don't."
You
guy's
can't
great
even
got
see
paid.
them. They don't even have a cam. Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
No,
is Walt's even there?
No, here's what's happening. This guy is playing, right?
Yes.
Pre-recorded, and then they and then they send the video to Walt Harris's campaign, and then they slap that on the side, and that overlaid right there, the election day countdown.
Yeah,
and then call
probably.
it a day. This isn't even a real stream.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
Well, I mean, they've got
to give
somebody.
tax cuts to the wealthiest. So look,
Oh, there we go.
you all know.
Okay,
what I
so-
heard the other day, housing.
Okay, so he went and did a rally.
Yeah.
They've recorded it and stuck it to the side of some random
Everything,
gameplay.
jobs.
Yeah, they did a Subway Surfer basically.
Everything.
Wow.
And they want to take no responsibility or
I mean,
Senator
dude, if you're going to do this, I thought he did. This is so low effort, honestly. I mean, he does put out
You
his
just described
like.
the Democratic Party.
Yeah, this is true.
There's
I mean, this is how
a chat. I was like, is there a chat here?
This is how you actually wind up being a Democrat at this point. It's
no,
based
I
on
think
your feelings, honestly.
Okay, so here's the chat, by the way. We're 59 minutes in. Yeah, was the first chat really at 58 minutes in? Was there nothing up above that?
Well, it takes some time to get the bots in.
It took them an hour to get them in.
Yep.
Bro. Well, I mean, when did his speech take that long to get in?
No,
because there's quite a while where it's just. I mean, he was laying out his case
about
for why.
18 minutes in. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So look, there's
18
chat
minutes
there.
in, the rally starts. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I'm not sure. I don't navigate Twitch very well.
Yeah, I barely am on there. I'm on there for like one person.
All it is emojis for the most part.
Yeah, that's how you know it's bots usually.
Fake.
I mean, the dude basically just, and this is really low effort for this streamer who got paid for this footage, where basically he lays out his feelings about why
Palestine has different things.
About why he thinks that, why he thinks that Republicans are evil and he has to vote for Democrats because they're the party of niceness, because of course they are. And
I'm sorry, I went to the grocery store recently. That ain't fucking
Question.
nice.
Does Twitch have a setting where
No,
you can
they-
only set it up to where chat is emojis only? Is that what has happened?
I
'Cause
don't
I'm
know.
actually surprised there's a chat at all. But
Huh.
they're all just emojis.
I
there's a
wonder if
setting for
that is the case.
maybe.
I don't know.
Wow, this is so cringe. Oh my god. I can't believe they did that.
I mean, what
Oh.
he should have done actually would have been to literally be playing while it's happening and commenting on the points that Tim Walz makes. I think it would have been stupid and cringe, but this is
Well, you
so
could have
lazy.
went to any commentator for that one.
Well, I mean,
Who's also
they
a
want,
gamer.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they exist.
Yeah,
On
but
the
a
what?
lot of them actually have.
You know, I was expecting Kamala to actually be playing WoW and
That's what I
talking
thought
to
at
the
first
people.
too, because AOC
Yeah.
did it, right?
Yeah, I think it was AOC did that with what was it? What did she play? Was
Who
it
cares?
Fortnite
I
Sure, whatever.
don't care.
Yeah.
or League?
It was-
played a game and actually like talked to the chat and stuff. That's what I was expecting. That sort of thing. This is just even. This is worse. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I did comment on that.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, perfect, dude. Because that's exactly what I'm thinking when I see that.
Yeah,
How
same.
fellow kids.
But now it's infinitely worse.
Yeah. It's so much worse.
Condescending to the gamer vote. I'll say that.
It's like that did not make me want to
Leroy
vote for
Jenkins.
Kamala.
By the way, the gamer vote. That's so weird to me.
No, I mean the gamer vote it's there, but I wouldn't be playing WoW for it anymore. WoW WoW has like anywhere from 1 million to 3 million players at any given time.
This is basically a way
And-
to basically embarrass any gamer who might have voted for you to not vote for you. It is
Well, I legit find it as a gamer offensive because how condescending that setup was.
yeah. Oh, that was so lazy
Oh, yeah.
and no effort.
What
I'm like,
if,
you can't
if
even
I had
put
showed
forth
up
effort.
to watch Kamala play, I would have been very disappointed to find
Totally,
Tim
yeah.
Watts speaking and some rando I don't know bashing the other side and going, yay, yay, rah, rah, ree, Tim Waltz, blah, 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 whatever.
And then he doesn't even have the decency to react live to the speech. I mean, he just puts some of his gameplay next to it.
This was a
Dude.
check for that dude, 100%.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I could do that. But of course, that's probably why there's no face cam.
Mhm.
So he can go ahead and say he didn't do it. It's like, but that sounds an awful lot like you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
I sure as heck wouldn't want to put it there. Oh, but let's continue the DEI trend and talk about how DEI has sunk a naval ship. Because I thought it was hilarious.
I was laughing so hard at this.
This is literally just for the fun of it, guys. But a Royal New Zealand Navy has lost its first ship at sea since World War II after one of its vessels ran aground off the coast of Somalia.
Moa.
Samoa, whatever.
Wow.
Samoa. Okay,
Those
yeah.
are very
Okay.
different locations.
They are completely different locations. I saw the S, the A, and was Somalia. Okay. The HMNCS Manawagnu.
Manawanui.
Wanted.
Manawanui. That would be my guess.
A specialist in diving and ocean imaging ship.
So
So
they should have saw it coming.
seafloor came into trouble about 1 nautical mile from the island of anybody?
No, this is your.
Upolu?
Upolu.
Upolu? That was close. Upolu. On Saturday night, local time, while conducting a survey of the reef.
So they literally saw it coming.
Wait. Next sentence. It later caught fire before capsizing. I'm sorry. It's just ship catching fire and sinking, and it's like
Yeah.
it just didn't get struck by lightning at this point.
No, it gets greater once Zio hasn't scrolled down far enough yet, but once he gets to the captain, it gets you kind of go.
Oh, I know,
So,
my dude.
It runs aground. It catches fire. It capsizes.
Nobody died. Nobody died, guys. Nobody died.
Nobody dies. I mean, granted, they had like a ton of time to probably evacuate the ship in their lifeboats, but I mean, how do you take an ocean imaging ship, run it onto a reef that you're imaging, catch it on fire, and capsize the damn thing? Like, I can't even imagine how it capsized. Either one, like, I guess I don't know, low tide happened and it brought it down, which then forced it to fall off the reef, or they were trying to get it off the reef and somehow made it fill up with more water, and then anyway.
Well, it'll be answered as soon as you scroll down.
The incident occurred during about rough windy weather. Military officials said rescuers battled currents and winds that pushed life rafts and seaboats towards the reef, and swells made rescue efforts challenging. But yeah, everybody was safe. Yeah, as of 0640 local time on Saturday, the ship was listed as heavy with smoke and blowing from it. At 9, it was below the surface. So, it had a few hours. Let's see. Is there... Oh, wait. Does this not have a picture of her?
I think they might have removed it. See if you can find it.
It was there.
I think they removed it because people were pointing it out.
New Zealand.
Isn't their navy like 9 ships? Well,
it's 6 now, 8 now, I think, because they also lost another one before then for something, I think.
So they lost, 15% of their navy just now?
Pretty much. They don't have many ships.
Oh my gosh, her picture's not there either anymore.
Okay.
I think they removed her picture from everything. It's not on that one either.
Wow. So essentially she was a pink-haired lesbian.
Because of course.
Oh, come on.
And what I thought was one of the funniest comments to post on this was, hey, what does her sexuality have to do with it? Any woman can wreck. It was the funniest comment I've seen, and everybody was dying of laughter. I mean, they photoshopped a wall in the water, and it looked like they just turned it to the wall. It was a cheap Photoshop, but it was funny.
Did you ever?
I think I found one.
Yep. Oh, white hair. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's white hair. She's old. But she.
That's not age. That's died.
No, that's not age. That's died.
Oh, my bad. Die.
Well, you can tell because the roots aren't white.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The roots are darker than. Why would you dye your hair gray?
There are people who do this.
That's weird.
It's a trend. It's like frosted tips used to be a thing,
But anyway.
So how could this happen? Scrolls down to white.
Criticizing trolling. I'm sorry. There aren't a lot of female captains. And also there aren't a lot of ships that are capsizing while running into a reef that they were taking a picture of and catching fire at the same time.
She obviously can't handle hard things full of semen.
By the way, I think this cost New Zealand $9 billion or something.
Oh, they overpaid for this ship. I think it was 100 mil or something like that, and the ship was only worth 15.
I mean, it's just funny though. Like if a dude did it, we'd still laugh, but it wouldn't be so. I mean, the thing is that there isn't like a huge pool of women who are ship captains, and one of the
And
very
now we know
few.
why.
Exactly. One of the
There's a
very few
reason for
happens
that.
to be the only one who's done something this extreme, you know?
Oh, and by the way, they mention that in the defense of this woman and say it's a learning experience. It's $100 million learning experience at the New Zealand taxpayers.
Oh, yeah, it was like, wasn't it something about how men are used to, because they've had like hundreds of years to learn how to navigate the sea and stuff.
Do
Now
they think
women
there's
are
like
getting
this?
in these places, so it's a learning experience. And it's like, no,
Is there
no.
like some sort of collective pool y'all draw from when you learn stuff? Are you listening to the ancestors of people who, well, not even
So
your ancestors,
I'll
but
give you a hint. This is how men
employment
learn
ancestors?
things.
All right.
What we do is we typically go out into the woods somewhere, and there's going to be a circle of rock and stone. We chant for 3 days straight in the center of that circle, and then the ancestors of thousands of years ago, just their knowledge floods into us, and we know everything. I mean, it's a 3-day affair. We all do it typically at around 12 or 13-ish. That's when, people just disappear for a few days because they go on a camping trip. And that's how we go about it. Yeah.
That's what that owl statue was about.
No, but seriously, that was the thing. And it was like, and then all the news thingies that I was reading at the time was talking about how nobody was hurt, nobody was killed, so it was a win, and all this other stuff. And it's like, you guys sunk $100 million ship. What the fuck? That is not a win.
I love this though. This where Colin. No, scroll up.
Oh.
Collins said she was appalled to see online trolling from armchair admirals, people who will never have to make decisions which mean life or death for their subordinates. My dude, I don't, you're right, but also I wouldn't put myself in that position. You did, and you failed. We're allowed to make fun of it. You put yourself out there, we're allowed to say that you failed at it. The fact that, you happen to be a very small pool, which kind of doesn't do good statistically. Let's put it that way.
It's like, I don't even know how you manage that.
I don't know.
I mean, your whole sole purpose with that ship is to image the damn reef to know what it is, and you run into the fucker. How?
Did you ever see the episode where Frasier is learning how to ride a bike?
Oh yeah, he just topples over.
Well, no, he didn't just topple over. What he would do is he was like fixated on trees. And it was like the tree was pulling him in like a magnet. So he would see the tree and he would just keep turning into it. He going, no, 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 the whole time. And then he crashed into the tree. This is what this reminds me of. You see the reef and you just start turning into it like, no. Yes.
And they've been over backwards making here's what I think is, personally, I know if he's pearl clutching, whatever. I find it offensive. They went out of their way to defend her for this massive mistake. If that was a dude, he would be court-martialed.
Well, maybe not court-martialed, but there would definitely be some reprimand. There'd be an issue there.
Yeah.
Of course, it also wouldn't have made news it would have made news, but it would have been like news of the day and then forgotten about tomorrow.
Yeah.
But then again, it is like one of 7 or 8 ships they have in the fleet.
Yeah, so it might make bigger news.
It might make bigger news for them. I just don't know.
I tossed my theory on how that happened into the chat. It starts where it needs to, like 56 seconds. And it goes on way longer, so you can just stop after. You'll know when it happens.
Oh, this is Frasier.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said Friends. My bad.
No. So no, that's the thing though. He saw the tree, but every time he sees a tree, he has to crash into the tree. And this is what I feel must have happened with this ship. They saw the coral reef and they were like, oh, I'm drawn to it. Like, no, stop. No. I can't unsee it. I mean, you know, it might have been something that was a freak accident somehow. I don't know. Maybe there's more explanation here, but it's kind of funny, dude. And if you can't
Yeah.
see that it was kind of funny, or just shut up, and don't be a sour faced, take your L, take the lumps that come with it. Just it's comical. I'm sorry. There,
It is very comical.
because Captain was a woman. All right, give me another reason. Give me a reason to stay here, lady.
Here's what kills me. You would not get this defense if it was a man.
Yeah.
No, they would be held up to a higher degree.
And here's the thing. It might, like, in all seriousness, it could have been a freak accident. By the way, they said that it had been imaged since the 80s, if I recall. It could be that reef's seen huge growth, unexpected growth, and...
Well, no, that's the whole point of them imaging it. They stay at a safe distance.
I mean, you're staring at the reef. You're looking out for reef.
Plow into that reef and
How do
not
you run into reef?
Navigate the ocean to do that.
I mean, your job is to look at the reef. I know. I was trying, and I was like, wait.
I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, but damn, yeah, it does really seem like it was because she's a woman.
And the thing is that it's not that she crashed because ovaries make you crash. I think it's that she crashed because maybe they were so proud that they had a woman that they elevated her faster than she was actually ready to be in that position.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that she was in a different navy somewhere or something like that at one point, and then moved to New Zealand, did something else, and then decided to join the Navy, or joined their Royal Navy to go back to it, but wasn't planning to be a captain, and then it just sort of happened.
Oh, yeah.
Because of prior experience and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it could be they were like, oh, well, you have prior experience. You're a woman. You check all the boxes.
Yeah, I think that they could have been. It's not necessarily because she's a woman. No, it's funny that she's a woman. But the thing is that they put such a high premium on it that it makes it hilarious. And the thing is, they put such a high premium on it because they're all about checking these boxes. And because they're so interested, they're so determined to do that, they will sacrifice quality to get that box checked. And they're super proud, and they're put her
offered anything else either.
No,
because these are just a day old. These articles I just pulled up here, where they're talking about it's not because she's a woman and the misogynistic trolls, blah blah blah, this that and the other. But they haven't provided any other explanation. When the news broke, they talked about, well, maybe there was a power outage or something. I'm like, why the fuck did the ship have a power outage? That's not a normal thing. And then that's what caused them to run into the reef or something, which, I mean, if that was the case, that would be great. But apparently they still don't know, which is concerning, which makes me think, yes,
they know.
It is because...
User
error. That's the only reason.
Skill issue.
So in order to, prevent saying that, it might have been because she's a woman, because they can't admit to skill issue at this point.
Because it'll embarrass them, but everybody in New Zealand already knows, because that's why they're making fun of them.
Put anything else down, and it's just like,
all they're gonna do is just poo-poo you and try to scold you and shame you
and brush it under the rug.
Well, look, they're just gonna try to yell at you.
Uniformed Defense Forces women, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Unimportant. Do not care.
Yeah, well, it's important because it's right here at the bottom of the article.
Oh, it's important to them, and I think that's our point. I think that's our point as to why this is interesting. This is interesting because of the fact that this is a woman. There are very few women in this position. The percentage of women who have sunken ships is very high now.
Can you scroll to the very top of that, like very top? Okay, they don't. It's I every time I see BBC, I'm like, oh, that's such an unfortunate naming convention, isn't it? Like, I see BBC and I'm like, you guys should really change your name.
Yeah.
I know it's British something.
British Broadcasting Company?
Yeah.
That's it. I was thinking British bastard communist or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I know what you were thinking. Anyway,
Well, that's for the weekend. Wait.
So
Oh, this.
Nandesu ka ne?
That's out of the ordinary.
let's have a hard segue
Let's see
into an
what it's
alarm
like
clock.
to wake up
Pause
with
it
a
real quick.
memo.
Pause it.
I'm
So,
sure I just didn't.
just be warned. Zia will be getting legal papers from Nintendo after he finishes playing this.
Oh shoot, you're right. I can't play it then. We're gonna hit it anyway and hope for the best. Let's shrink it and maybe that will fix it. Maybe they won't notice.
Oh, do you hear that? The alarm is going off.
It's time for you to get sued.
Just play music to start your day.
What?
Hear those coins? That's Nintendo's lawyers draining your account.
What?
Yeah, so they've got an alarm clock and it
Why
plays
is it so gay?
it plays Nintendo music.
I mean, this is super low effort here. This is lame.
Do you need to go? Yeah.
Yeah. This is very lame.
Meg, watch your words because
I know.
I'm legit interested.
This looks.
I'm
I
not
mean,
buying it because it's Nintendo, though.
the shape of it is cute, but the screen looks really lame. And they're like, oh, and it can play sounds, bro. I do that with my phone. I have woken up to whatever Nintendo music I feel like. Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to. I don't need a. This is the age of technology, guys. Why are you like 20 years behind?
It's Nintendo.
Well, that's the thing that actually baffles me, though. This is so 1993. I don't understand.
It hasn't gotten to the point where it explains it, but there's a motion sensor attached to it, so that when you move, it makes like the coin sound or other sound. Other sounds as well, depending on what you pick.
Anyway, so yeah,
Okay.
pretty much what
All
I
right,
was
maybe
gonna say.
I was waiting for the commercial to keep going to understand if there was some reason that this is not stupid.
Yeah,
This isn't 90s tech.
I will say.
That's right. It responds to your body's movement with game sounds. Like here, with the sound of coins from Super Mario Odyssey.
That sounds annoying. I wouldn't move.
Yeah, so I was thinking when I first saw this,
Does it
like,
get
I
better?
can already do that with my phone.
Oh,
The only
except
thing it does
yeah,
is
the
the
motion
motion sensor coin noise maker.
Yeah.
which I specifically would not do. I mean, the thing is, the reason that I'm made to wake up with my alarm clock is because I do not wake up gracefully, and I just want the horrible noise to stop. If moving around makes the noise worse, I will get angrier. So I don't.
That clock has a short shelf life in your house, though.
Yeah, that would go back to the store immediately. I'm like, that's a waste of money. I
I'm
don't.
not throwing any more money at Nintendo. I'll tell you that right now.
It's just lame. I mean, if you want to buy it, buy it. I just think that they could have done better. Like I like the housing of this thing. The overall shape of it is actually cute. It's very Nintendo. It works for me. I think the screen is pretty doofy.
Well, if you don't like coins, you can have rupees.
So you can start the day feeling like you're in the kingdom of Hyrule.
Is that better, May?
It's better because it's not as aggressive, but it's still just ugh.
No, trust me, I'm right there with you.
Yes, yeah, that
Yes.
I love that dude.
What Starting Craig said.
That guy deserves to be the meme that he is. His face is such disappointment.
Hey, the worst thing Nintendo has put out since the Wii Music, and then
The Wii music is just fine, people.
Yeah, I thought the Wii Music was good. I thought it was
Don't knock on my Wii music.
Oh, the music from the Wii era was beloved. What did I miss?
I don't
just
know.
think it's
I
weird.
missed it too. So, I mean, heck, I use Wii music in a lot of shorts and stuff. So,
yeah, that was it the samba or whatever that they had for the.
I didn't know people hate that.
Like the Wii music menu
for the low price of 100
You're kidding.
coins,
bro.
You can buy this Alarmo.
So wait,
Alarmo.
They should have done.
Alamaro,
Their
or
UI
Alamaro?
needs to be
Yeah,
better than
Alamaro.
that.
That's 5
that price point.
stars in Mario Party, people.
Oh.
I don't know what that is. I don't play Mario Party. I don't
You
play
need
friend
20
games.
coins to get a star in Mario Party.
Okay.
That's 100. Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right.
They honestly just need to make that UI better. I don't like it. I don't like the user interface at all.
It should be circular. It shouldn't be square for starters.
Yeah. Well, they're going the cheapo route
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
making the entire thing a screen.
That should be the whole thing there.
The
Yeah.
whole thing should be a circular screen.
Yes. And they should actually
They're
utilize
trying
it
to
better.
mimic it by making the background black with it. So
Yeah, and it doesn't fit. It
these
never fits that way.
close-up
You can see it
pictures,
right
you can
here.
Tell it
Yeah.
right there that it isn't.
That just makes it worse. So
I can't believe
yeah.
that's $100.
Yeah,
doesn't
I
deserve
didn't
to
look
be
at the
$100.
price. Holy shit.
I didn't either, and I saw that you had what looked like you linked it, and I was like, we're gonna have to check that out because I hadn't looked at it, and I was guessing like 50, but my gosh, it's double what I was guessing.
Yeah, I would 50 would be the max. I would have guessed. I would have thought like 30.
Oh,
I mean,
all-day experience. Add
what they should have
Nintendo
done-
ambience to your living space with an hourly chime and sleepy sound themes.
No.
What they should have done is made this cheaper and then made it so that you could
That's
purchase
free.
Different UIs. You know,
can
like
track
if you
your
wanted to
sleep
have
patterns.
Hyrule, then you could have Hyrule and pay for that. So that way it's affordable
That
and you
would've
can
been
kind
smart.
of you could get it at like a low price, and it's basically just like Passive Exile or any of these other free to play games. Don't make it free because you still have to pay for the housing, you have to pay for the hardware, but you should be able to upload stuff onto it, and that makes it cooler. That way you could actually add things as necessary. Right now what they have baked in is super lame. It's not interesting at all, and it's certainly not worth $100. I mean, dudes, I was thinking that it was going to be maybe $50, and I was still thinking it was a waste of money because it just looks lame.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that the idea is bad. I'm saying that the UI is terrible, and also they absolutely should have utilized their entire space. We have the technology at this point. There is no excuse for that. So it's just no. That's a hard pass. That's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Yeah, this is horrible. And somebody out there is buying it. How much you want to make a bet? Somebody's
at
gonna
least
buy
3
it.
people. Ooh, Kyle. Really? He's the next guy up? All right.
Oh, all right, let's see. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, it's Halo's rebranding. Or,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 343 is rebranding.
Well, it's weird because they were apparently 343 was originally Halo Studios, then it became 343, and now it's going back to Halo.
Is that what it was?
I guess. Like somebody had mentioned that, and I was like, I never knew them other than 343, but
Yeah, I mean, I haven't known about who they were outside of 343 either.
Yeah, I'm from
Hey,
the before times when I
'cause-
didn't care, and I
guys,
still.
I got something really important to
343
say.
is the ones who handled Halo Wars back when Halo was still part of Bungie.
Yeah, I got something important to say.
Mhm.
I'm getting tea.
Okay.
I just
Um,
I so miss the days where this was unimportant. I just don't want to care anymore about who's making these games, who the devs are. I don't want to know you, dude. I want to know you just by the process, by the
fruits of your labor.
exactly. I just want to know you for that. I honestly don't care what you think about other things. I mean, yeah, that's for your friends. I'm not your friend.
I
I'm
feel
your
like I
I'm your
am
patron.
missing something here.
Probably.
So I thought for sure that 343 is the studio that handled Halo Wars,
Mhm.
right?
Ah.
The first, yeah, and then back when Halo Wars was done, Bungie still had Halo.
Yeah.
According to the wiki here, it was originally named after the Halo character 343 Guilty Spark. The studio was created by Microsoft Game Studios in 2007 due to the departure of Bungie after the release of Halo 3. But 343 did the game Halo Wars. When did that come out?
That came out after Halo 3.
Oh, okay.
It
Didn't
was-
Bungie still have Halo at that time?
I think they did, but they so here's
As
Wars
for
had an
Halo
interesting-
Studios didn't exist before that. Before now.
Halo Wars had an interesting development cycle where originally it was going to be on the N64.
Really? What?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
And then it went into development hell, and then because originally, like Halo was going to be, well,
No.
yeah, Halo was the launch thing, but they had. Keep in mind, Halo initially was going to be an RTS, and then it became the first-person shooter. That's where, but they didn't abandon Halo Wars. They just kind of.
Okay. So I got some info.
Okay.
Halo Wars came out in 2009. Halo 3 released in 2007.
Yeah.
343 was created in 2007 by Microsoft Studios and was named 343. So, Bungie's final Halo game was Halo Combat Evolved after co-developing for Halo Reach. Okay, so Bungie still had Halo then. They co-developed Halo Reach.
Yeah, I think they were
And that
starting.
released in 2010.
I think Bungie was starting to phase out.
And that was probably the last, or Halo 4, I guess. Was it? No, the anniversary edition was by 343, and Halo 4 was 343.
And we still
Okay.
can't play the anniversary edition together.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, so that's the
343.
brief history of 343. 343 came into existence in 2007 from Microsoft Game Studios. Bungie still had the game, and they co-developed Reach in 2010, which is why 343 did Halo Wars. And then Bungie gave up Halo and left Microsoft and everything.
To do Destiny
And that's when
Like they
Halo was
screwed up,
fully
but
given
whatever.
to 343 when that happened, and now they're rebranding as Halo Studios. Halo Studios didn't exist until they just did the rebranding.
Okay.
Yeah, there was no
That's probably just
beforehand.
somebody.
Well, see, what it is they were named 343 because of Guilty Spark,
Yeah.
which, makes sense, but that doesn't make them Halo Studios.
Yeah. Well, now they are.
Yeah, now they are.
And the funny thing is, I hear all the time, Bungie was like the GOAT of Halo, and I'm like, y'all don't realize. To me, Bungie was in decline after Halo Reach. Halo 3 was all right. Halo Reach was like the pinnacle, and then this bull crap where they would add stuff and then take stuff away. People are like, "Oh, they're adding so many new things." Like, no, they're not. They're replacing things. I don't want things to be replaced. If you're going to make a game like that, every single sequential game after the first one should add to it. But they didn't do that. They took stuff away, like my Mantis, fuck y'all, and then put in like whatever. I'd stopped caring after that because I made a awesome game type centered around the Mantis called Minotaur. Got on IGN, by the way. Didn't get credit for it. Thank you, IGN, you bastards. Literally, somebody else downloaded it, and he was more popular than me. You know how that goes. But yeah, literally, I made a maze where the people had plasma rifles so that they could stun the Minotaur, and the person that's the Minotaur cannot get out of the mech. So he had to go around trying to stomp on people.
Meg eating?
Huh? Sorry, I'm going on a rant. I'm sorry.
No, continue.
But yeah, so it was great because there was power-ups and stuff. And then like the next one came out and none of that was in the game. I was like, oh, great. One of my most popular game types is impossible to make now because there's no mech anymore. Doesn't even make sense. There's no lore saying why the mech was gone. It was bullcrap.
Now, I honestly don't know why they're rebranding to Halo Studios outside of the fact that they are, I guess, taking over purely Halo-related stuff.
Yeah.
that's a nice
Um,
option.
and
I mean, is
whatever.
343 tarnished in some way? I mean, it's
Infinite.
ambiguous. If someone said, "Oh, I work
I
for
mean,
343," I'd go,
this
"What
is
is
the
that?"
only thing that's really listed here as tarnishing it. Their chief of staff, doing the whole spiel of,
What does the chief of staff do?
I don't know. They
Like
hire
a jerk.
people,
Oh.
I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Chief of staff in charge of
Basically, so
hiring.
that's basically HR, but sounds like a little bit less annoying.
Ish. Like chief of staff, basically they dictate workflows and
okay,
stuff.
here we go. Based on previous or provided searches, a company's chief of staff, the COS, is an executive position that supports other senior executives, typically reporting directly to the CEO or executive vice president. The COS is responsible for planning and maintaining the CEO's administrative, financial, and operational activities, acting as an advisor and a liaison between the CEO and other departments.
So, like a very good secretary. All right.
Yeah, I would not invest in Halo.
But yeah, strategic planning, operations management, communications, problem solving, leadership, project management, research and analyst.
All right. Wait. Leading teams. What does that mean? I mean, does that mean just indicating what
leading
is
teams?
required? No, but I
using
mean,
communications. I don't know.
Okay, 5 is irrelevant. I'll tell you that right now. That's just corporate speak.
Yeah, I know.
HR support, assisting with new hire onboarding.
Yeah, so this person is absolutely this is like the right hand of the CEO sort of thing.
Like the head of HR, basically.
It's the head of HR, essentially.
Well, it's more this is the person. So this person is in charge of doing like the CEO's scheduling, and they're in charge of making sure that everybody's doing what the CEO told them to do. So that when it says leading teams, they're saying basically that they're going to talk to all of the teams that actually do things and say, "Hey, are you on schedule? What's this looking like? Are you good?" And then just pass on the summary to the CEO. So basically, they're the person who makes sure that everybody's doing the things that they're supposed to be doing.
Mind? This person probably needed a degree to do basic work.
Yeah, this is absolutely basic work. This is basically, I mean, this job can be replaced by a machine.
AI. Anyway.
Yeah. Those Tesla bots, man. This is going to be a Tesla bot.
Oh god,
I mean,
oh yeah, nightmare fuel. But hey, toothpaste and tube, man, it is out.
Yeah, I mean, 343 has a lot that they don't want to carry over, I guess, because you've got Halo Infinite. Their Halo games have not performed as good. In fact, Halo has just been kind of going downhill, as Chad said, since like 3 and Reach.
Yeah,
or the pinnacle of Halo.
Yeah, honestly, I was sitting there like it's a bold strategy, sitting there deciding that you're going to dedicate everything to Halo. I was like, I didn't think Halo was on the upswing, my guy. Like,
well, maybe now they'll actually be.
Well, I think it was Chad who linked me a thing where Halo apparently is now devising a third-person mode, and it's just like now you're going to be definitely no different than Fortnite at this point. Because, I mean, the third-person mode was fine when you pulled up a heavy chain gun or something. It was interesting. But if you add that baseline into the game, that means absolutely everybody has to use third-person mode because the field of view it gives you is greater than first-person mode. You might as well be taking first-person mode out. And I would not be surprised in the next few iterations of Halo if that is what happens. You lose first-person mode altogether.
Yeah, I think that is one of the things that bothers me about field of view because the lack of peripheral vision bothers me so much. I think I use my peripheral vision a lot, so yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what the good part of third person shooters are weird to me because of the fact that just where the aiming is feels untrue. It feels like it's kind of
it's one of those things you just got to get used to.
Well, first person at least made sense to me. Third person makes no sense to me. To be fair, I could be the plaid sheep in the story, but
I don't like third person because I don't like having part of the screen just blocked by the character.
Oh God, she's a Latinx person.
No,
Yeah.
no. She's saying, let's see, her research.
No,
Wow.
I mean,
Her
as in she refers to people as Latinx.
Oh yeah.
The one thing that, if I remember correctly, according to another
Well, did she
survey, like
actually write this?
98, 99% of people hate unless they are in this weird DEI liberal bubble.
Well, it's
Yeah.
if they had said Latine, instead of putting an X at the end, you put an E there, it would at least honor the language. Putting an X there just says you don't honor these people's language or culture at all. There is no way that you put an X at the end of a word in Spanish. You are butchering their freaking language. It is rude. It is insulting. Stop it.
Yeah,
I'm
I think I responded to this, or maybe that the one that's being that Cloby person. I think I responded to that, and yeah.
You'd have to click on the that one.
Oh, that
Yeah.
one. Sorry, I thought it was the other one. I didn't pay attention to the names. He should be near the top because I follow him. He's not there. Chad,
I
will it be gay? Chad, will it be gay?
what?
Will it be gay?
No. No, it is more of saying how Halo is dying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
listen,
this is,
they don't do Halo like they used to.
For mature.
what is this? Oh, that's cool.
This is an old Halo commercial for, I think, Halo 3.
Dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, but this was done with all actual action figures.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah, this looks like yeah. Practical effects, man.
Practical effects are
Oh, he's
so
about to
much
die.
better.
That must have took some time to set up.
Yeah.
And just think, all those things probably exist somewhere in a storage room right now. Listen, back then, Halo meant something. Seeing that,
Dang, I felt that. I was like,
something.
you kind of just. I love this guy. Yeah, I mean, this game is not my jam. It is not my type of thing. But like, just seeing that commercial, I'm like, I want to go in there and help those people. I'm like, oh no, it's such a bad day. Just yeah, that was impactful, and we just don't really get that anymore. This sort of gravitas, everything is flippant, and I dig me flippant stuff. I enjoy things that are kind of tongue in cheek, silly, off the cuff. People diss the Marvel humor. I like that stuff, but I think that there is a place also for gravitas, and especially games like this, something that makes you kind of run through a wall, and defend things and all that jazz. And I think that we kind of lost that.
Patriotism. Bro, it is patriotism. I mean, even if it's in a game.
Yeah.
The urge to defend your homeland and your countrymen. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. They call it toxic masculinity now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just don't make commercials or anything good with Halo like this anymore. Like, this stuff actually made you feel something. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Is that Master Chief? Because he always has his
Master
helmet on?
Chief didn't show his face.
Well, his helmet was off, but the
Yeah, I
only
know.
time that the camera shows is when his helmet is back on, because it doesn't matter.
Man, this was a Halo 3 commercial, too.
That bubble
I
shield.
remember replaying this ad, waiting for Halo 3. For the
That
longest
bubble
time.
shield blew my mind, by the way.
Halo 3.
You know how many
that was
people I
good.
have killed?
That was
using
That
awesome,
makes
man.
me feel something. I want to play some damn Halo.
I
God.
gotta say, Bungie, for all of their faults, they do darn good trailers and commercials.
Yeah, 343 just doesn't have it. I'm sorry. I don't know if this
I don't. To be fair, I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't
I
followed
really don't.
Halo. I mean, I just remember hearing that Halo Infinite was dog water. So,
Halo Infinite is definitely rough around the edges.
The story, the campaign was
Um,
fun.
I mean, it was fun. I loved the concept, but it was just the
Execution?
fact that the execution was horrible. The fact that it launched broken and not complete was
what is
horrible.
that? Why are games doing that
Um,
now?
Because they're going with the what is it, MVP, minimum viable product, and launching.
But if it's
Is what they're
broken,
trying
then
to
that's
do.
broken. Shouldn't be minimum.
Yeah, well, it is today.
It's
And companies are okay with it, which causes the games to curl up and die,
it's just like
unfortunately.
selling a car with the check engine light
Well,
on.
that's
Don't
why
do that,
people were
guys.
so upset at Call of Duty that one time because they released their game and they're like, oh, only multiplayer is available. And it's not the full multiplayer. And then they kept releasing patches for the next 2 years or something, the next year. And it was finally a complete game about 3 months out before the next game released.
MVP is what you do for beta. I mean, you honestly don't
I
sell
mean,
people
should
MVPs.
be. Your minimum viable product should be your beta at that
Yeah.
point. That is not your release, but that's what they keep doing these days. And 343 just hasn't captured Halo like Bungie did. I'm sorry. I don't care for Destiny. Sorry for those of you who play Destiny or played it.
It used to be good. There was a time. I'm sad.
But
Not even for
Yeah.
me. I'm sad for my hubs.
because you can. Oh, somebody say something. I'm trying to do a thing real quick.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually still looking for that reply I sent.
Well, if you go under your profile, click replies.
Yeah, I know.
Just
I'm
being a
looking.
kitty. But since we're going to go with that, let's talk about this for a second. I'm not sure why I linked this video in the salt mines at all, but I did.
Okay.
Sparking Zero when you can literally just
I
pick
don't
the character you
remember.
want. Isn't it a waste of time to charge key and do a fusion dance when I can literally just choose Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks from the character select screen? Well, of course you can, but it's actually a horrible decision to do that. Did you know that if you perform transformations manually, you will get in-game buffs and increased health way beyond what you would get if you just chose the character on the ward skill and also
I feel like I was supposed to be linking that to Chad for something, and for
Yeah, I
whatever
think you
reason,
accidentally put it in the salt.
I put it in the mines.
Yeah,
But
it's interesting.
As well.
we do get to talk about it anyway because
IGNY.
scored Sparking Zero a 7 out of 10. And
No.
they did the same thing with Concord. which
And
is a 7
Dustboard.
out
No.
of 10. And Dustboard was a 7 out of 10. And it's like, really, guys?
I just
The guy reviewing it clearly did not want to review this game. Doesn't know fighting games at all, let alone 3D fighters. And it's just like, this is not the person who should be reviewing your game.
Yeah, this is why. Remember last time that we were on, I said that they should actually just have a rotating, just a bunch of contractors on contract. Blech, words. That and there are certain people who specialize in certain things because then you don't get this garbage. This is stupid. If their baseline for a game like Concord or a game like Dustborn I watched beginning to end twice because it's so funny watching people suffer that much. But I mean, I am a bit of a sadist, so but I mean, these games are so bad, and to put this up with games like that, that's basically saying this is the way that you're going to say 1 or 0. It basically has the juice ain't worth a squeeze if it's a 7.
Yeah.
According to IGN, according to their own metric, basically 7 is your passing grade. Just barely passing with like you exist. Okay, you tried a thing. An attempt was made. Congratulations to you. It exists. But if that's their metric, then any game they should go to 7 to 20 or something like that because 10 is just there's not enough room.
Whoops. Sorry.
No, I'm annoyed by IGN. This is so dishonest, and it
I would
actually
say-
hurts every game that comes
I'd
after
say
it.
this. I'd probably give it an 8 or 9, not a 7.
But the thing is that you're going off of actual numbers, though, not off of IGN scale. IGN scale literally is 7 to 10. That's it.
Again, I think they have a contract that just says, hey, if you're reviewing a game for X company, you can't rate it below a 7. Because apparently recently they did rate something like 5.5 or something out of 10, and I was just
But-
like, holy shit, they actually can go that low?
But that was because it was absolute garbage, from what I remember hearing.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it was at all.
I remember seeing about it,
but-
and I've forgotten what it was. But
I mean, it was probably some indie thing, and for all I know, it probably is something halfway decent. They just didn't
Dustborn.
like it.
no, Dustborn got a 7.
Dustborn should have been more in that line of a
Yeah,
5.5.
because
but-
Dustborn was an indie
Dustborn,
game, wasn't
I would
it?
have given
mean,
it 2.
I mean, I would have given it lower, but
well,
I don't know if that's because of bias or what.
I mean, I will say I do have criticism of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Basically, this isn't even part of the game per se. One, and I will admit I am biased because I absolutely have utter disdain for the voice actors, other than one.
Oh.
But even then, I can go, wow, a lot of these voice lines are really low effort.
Oh,
And
Okay.
Some of them got phoned
And-
in.
And
I
I,
mean-
will say this, Bulma, shut the hell up when I'm in the menu. You do not have to comment on everything I'm looking to buy.
Yes, she does. That actually drives me nuts too. She's just like, "Oh, are you a big spender? You're almost as rich as me. I wish my husband would take me out for shopping once in a while. Oh, are you just going to buy everything? Yeah,
Mhm.
I too like to look around." And it's just like, "Bulma, shut up."
But, I
come
mean-
on, you don't have to speak every 2 seconds.
to be fair, that kind of fits. That is Bulma. Bulma is an annoying character.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. But
So that's true to it. I mean, and I will say Dragon Ball.
and there's
the
actually something
other
in this
fighting
review
games
they
that-
just get straight out wrong too.
well, the fighting games of Dragon Ball only go so high with me anyway, because they do get kind of repetitive. You know, they're just like, okay, well, it's kind of fun. It's not amazeballs, but fine.
Kind of was hoping that I can make a character, but I guess that was only one of them.
Xenoverse is the only one who does that, I think. Xenoverse 1 and 2. But no, like in this review, they talk about customization because you can customize the people, right? The characters, add new
Yeah.
costumes and stuff to them,
Mhm,
give them new taunts, things like that.
Yeah.
mhm.
And in this, he talks about how he wishes he didn't have to always go back to the menu and then go through another menu to get to the menu to get to customization. And wants it, access to it while looking at the characters in the character select screen. And I don't know if maybe it was just the build that he was using or whatnot, but that actually exists in game. If you've
Yeah.
highlighted a character, you can click the what I call the start button, I think is what it is.
Yeah, and then you can
Will bring you the customization menu without going to the customization menu.
Yeah, it even says at the bottom, customized.
Yeah, it says customize. You click it and you can change their outfits, or you can set them up to where if you want, like, Goku and Vegeta to only fuse into Gogeta and not give you the option for Vegito, you can do that too from that menu.
I hate that bit was a thing in the actual. I didn't like the whole merge thing.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite either. But whatever.
What is wrong with you people? Anyway.
It's weird.
It was, to me, it was a cheap plot.
Oh, but
Well, I mean,
Plot mechanic. I don't know.
anyway, so this is one of the reasons why people don't trust reviewers. It's like,
well,
I
not
don't know if
professional
this
ones,
guy-
no.
Yeah, not the professional ones.
Yeah,
It's
they'll
like-
go to YouTube or they'll go to Zio.
I have no idea that if this guy actually really played the game or was just fed information to regurgitate.
Or
Uh,
even what his baseline is, like what his bias is going in. Everybody has a bias going in. He
Well,
may hate
if you
Dragon
actually
Ball. He may
listen
not
to
like
the
fighting
video,
games.
whoever it was who did it clearly
Mhm.
just has no idea. This is not their type of game. They don't want to be there, essentially.
And
You can just hear it.
it's funny because I went into this game going, I don't want to play this, but I know Zio wants to, and now I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, him and his button smashing and auto guards because he can't do it for real.
That should have been off by DeVi. 100% agree. Also,
Did you say you beat someone with Yoruichi or with Yamcha?
Yamcha. No, it wasn't Yamcha. It was
Yajirobe.
Yajirobe. Yeah.
Yes, Yajirobe. I'm sorry. There's
what
a lot of
happened
Yas.
is we didn't realize there was a counter to the character select screen, so we were cycling through characters,
Kind
looking,
of just browsing.
and browsing. So then it just suddenly faded and was like, "Did you start the match or something?" Because no, I didn't touch anything. It's like, what the hell happened? And then he started the match with 3 characters, pretty powerful ones in Yajirobe. And then I started with Krillin and somebody else.
Oh my gosh.
Because I happened to have been hovering over it. Krillin's actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
I had Goku and Gohan. Yeah, the balancing is...
I kicked his ass with Krillin for a hot second. But I got through 2 of his more powerful guys and finally fell. And then I was left with whoever I had left. And then he finally finished me off. So I had to go through 3 people to my 2. So he did technically win with Yajirobe by getting that last shot.
Look, I had 2.5. But the thing that irks me, and I mean, like, it is in your face, and I wish I'm like legit looking for settings, trying to find out if I can fix this. Did I break something? There's narration portions to the game, like you get the audio of the characters talking, like Goku, Gohan, whatever. But then there's like a narration section, and it is no voice at all. Now I know the narrator for Dragon Ball died recently. Rest in peace to all the legends. But that doesn't mean you don't add audio at all. It's so out of place, and I'm like, oh wait, I got to read this.
Yeah, what it is they have the story mode.
Are you saying that it's unbalanced then?
No, it's just the in the story mode. There's cutscenes and there's times where the characters talk, but then there's the narration part. And I'm expecting that legendary voice or somebody similar, and it's just no audio. You have to read it, and I'm like,
yeah, that's a little weird. I mean, if the characters if there's no talking in the game, because I'm used to games where there's no talking. Which is why I'm so comfortable with just turning the sound off and listening to the news.
All or none. I expect either everything.
Yeah, it's unbalanced. Yeah, just be consistent.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah.
The way they do the story is they essentially do like the major beats and then do these snapshot pictures in between for the most part. So that's where there's no narration.
So I mean, if you were to judge this game, Chad, would it be a 1 out of 10? Not IGN 7s, but like 1 out of 10. What would you give it?
Honestly, I'd probably give it an 8 or 9.
Really, it's that high?
I
think it seems like it might be an honest 7. Honestly,
I mean,
IGN isn't honest
7, but to be frank, they got so much customization, characters, items that you can buy. It's very, very flushed out as far as the game mechanics, and that's where I am like. Game mechanics, yes.
Okay.
Well, for the Sparkling series, I definitely would give it an 8 or a 9. It's definitely the cream of the crop for that series.
And once you get used to the controls, once you learn the controls, because I will say it doesn't give you great direction, but gives you good enough direction.
There's a whole training section that people don't want to do. So then you have Chad's comment. Well, it doesn't explain things very well, and yet there is a whole training with Piccolo that will walk you through every single control and how to perform it.
Yeah, but see, I go and press start, and it says explain controls, and when it explains the controls, it doesn't, or it does.
Well, it does do that too. It tells you what they do when you press a button and how it's performed, and there's a long list if you do it the written way.
Okay.
It says at one point to do the
That Yajirobe is a fightable character is hilarious though.
Oh no, it gets better. He's the second weakest. You want to know who the weakest one is?
Is he the second weakest?
Yeah. You want to know who the first weakest is?
Who?
Oh yeah. You all came here to see Mr.
Oh, Mr. Satan.
Yeah, Mr. Satan is definitely the weakest.
He
I'm
should
pretty
be
sure
though.
like Chaosu is about the same level as Yajirobe.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
Chaosu and Yajirobe are like power level 2.
Yeah.
Mr. Satan is 1.
As he
Yeah.
should be.
And then the Cybermen and Cell Jr. is 3, Videl is 3, Chaosu I think is 3.
Chaosu should. I don't remember a lot about Chaosu.
Chaosu's the little white.
No,
kid
I
that
remember
runs with
him.
Tien.
I remember him, and I remember that the way he died was by blowing
You know,
himself up.
to be totally honest, I don't think he does a whole lot of fighting.
No,
at
that's
all
why I'm
in
like,
Dragon Ball.
After
Yeah.
Dragon Ball, he would just disappeared.
And then he just disappeared and never really. He occasionally would show up someplace to say something random or whatnot with Tien, but other than
Yeah.
that, he's just.
I mean, I think he had a
missing
bigger
from the
role in
series.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean,
Honestly, I wholeheartedly expect that there's a battle technique that Tien has where he just throws Chaosu like a grenade.
see,
You know, I
you know
haven't
what?
actually played. No, I haven't played Tien yet, so I don't know.
So that's the thing. If you play Tien, you should have. Yeah, I mean, Chaosu shouldn't be a playable character because he. I mean, at least in Z lore, he has no place in there. He basically should be like it should be a Tien special move. You call in Chaosu and he blows up. Which is also all kind of messed up, but you know. Yeah, but it looks like just from this screenshot that I'm seeing here, it looks like, I mean, it's a fighting game. I mean, you can only go so far with that, but it looks like they've done a lot to try to add on extra things to it. So I mean, I give them props for that, and I think that, you know, that you guys both rating it an 8, it speaks well for it. IGN giving it a 7 means absolutely nothing for me, though. I mean, and I think that this is the problem that we have in the professional class of games people. I mean, they just seem to all be corporate bought and paid for shills at this point.
Yeah. Now I will say this game will not speak to you if you're not a Dragon Ball fan.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
if
you'll
you're
get
a
confused.
fan of Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you know, general
Well,
fighting games.
that's a different kind of fighting game too. So,
It is.
Like,
I know,
there's
but-
a difference between
It's very anime.
Okay,
3D
Tekken,
fighting
Soul
games.
Calibur, is that better?
There's a difference between like 3D fighting games and 2D fighting games. Because
Yeah.
Dragon Ball's Fighters
Yeah.
is also a good 8-9 game out of 10, but that is also a 2D fighting
Yeah.
game.
What I'm getting at is that I will say this though about all fighting games. Actually,
Mhm.
none of them, including this one, compares to Flying Dragons.
I don't think I've ever seen
Who?
or heard of that game.
I know. It's the best fighting game I've ever played.
Flying Dragons.
Yep. I'm waiting for Zio to be like, what the fuck?
Let's see.
I do. I am liking. the way-
Really? That is your best game?
Yes.
I
You know why?
Game.
All right, let's show the people. Let's show the people what Chad is rating a 10.
Oh,
That way we can understand his scaling and his grading.
let me bring. Can I bring this up? Here, let me try and bring it up. Oh, shit, did I lose it? I think I fucking lost it. Oh, it changed it to something else. What the hell? In my
Master
search results.
Roshi.
Yeah,
That was 64, wasn't it?
It's N64. It's so powerful of a game that they don't want you to know about it.
Do they have Chi-Chi in this game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, Chi-Chi's not in this game.
She's not? I thought she was.
No, she's not a playable character as far as I know.
I thought Chi-Chi and Bulma were. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, Bulma shouldn't be because that's
No.
Oh, here we go.
in the
Flying
store.
Dragon.
That makes sense. Wow.
This is an old obscure game.
It is. Is there any like video of it being played?
Oh, I'm sure there is. So here's the thing why this game is better than all the others.
Why?
You could level up your character.
Okay, that's a thing.
Like RPG level up. They'd get stronger as they fight in tournaments. And you can even equip them with equipment to improve their health, how strong they are. I literally made a character so strong that I beat everybody in one hit.
Game. Okay.
Nice. I support that actually. That makes sense because
Culture Brain legit makes amazing games, by the way.
wow.
There's two game modes. There's arcade mode and like the other mode. If the characters are in a 3D, not like chibi 2D, then this might be the one though. Hang on. Yeah, that's it.
Wow, this is not great art.
It's a 64 game. They did
No,
what
you
they
could still draw with a pen and paper. Haha, I
It's
feel
so
so
good.
good. Ugh,
I can't
I can't
forgive
forgive
you.
you.
For feeling so good. And they had special abilities with the meter and all that good stuff.
Okay, so for art style, I'm probably gonna give it like a 5. But for the colors are kind of also painful. But
For a 64 game, it's
And
not
that
bad.
flickering ain't helping things, I'll tell you that.
No, it's not.
Like whoever recorded this, they literally recorded it off of TV.
I think so.
Because I can see the bending.
yeah, but I mean, no, just the concept art is still a thing. I mean, what King of Fighters came out in the 90s and it looks great. So
Yep. And now I will admit that my 10 out of 10 of this game
is for the mechanics and the gameplay and stuff.
No, it's completely biased.
Oh,
It's completely biased.
but I mean, the thing is
Energize
everybody
was a
has.
better fighting game.
But I think that
It was a better RPG.
Well, I think that
Energize was a
it
good one.
kind of mixes the two things and kind of gives you something to build towards, which would actually increase your the reason to keep playing that game. Like for me, the problem with fighting games is that you have to like have people over and play with them. Because otherwise you're just playing the campaign, and that could last for maybe like I don't know, a couple hours at the most, and that's if you suck, like me. But for the most part, it's like you pass it, and then I mean, really, the most fun to be had is in playing with friends. I don't believe in those, so it wasn't really like fighting games weren't really like my thing because you have and you can't, and especially not as an adult now, you have to like get friends together to go play a fighting game, but.
See, fighting games are not my thing at all. It has to have something unique to it for me to even care. Like Smash Brothers, although everybody that plays in tournaments can suck a big one because I'm playing with the items whether you want it or not. This game here, the Flying Dragons, with the whole RPG elements, with the Dragon Ball, you can buy capsules that give you better strength, health regeneration, key regeneration.
Yeah.
Totally didn't tell Zio I had all my characters fully loaded.
But I mean, see that kind of thing actually makes sense, though.
Yeah, I haven't done any of that stuff.
Yeah, so I was like recovering quicker. That might actually be how I recovered from your combos. I was also my stuff would charge quicker. It would take less of my key to dodge step.
Yeah. I think that was the thing in I played one of those Dragon Ball games with a friend of mine, and I think that was the thing in that game too. I remember it rather specifically, and Bulma was in charge of the store because that made sense. She was selling capsules at Capsule Corp.
Yep, that's how they do it in this one. Although now Bulma won't shut up. Every time you go to a different capsule to see if you want to buy it.
Yeah,
are you buying that? Oh, baby, shut the. Oh.
Yeah, I think she talked a lot in the other one too, but it didn't really bother me. Because
I get talking a lot, but every time you do an action, you have to comment. This literally should be in the Geneva Convention as inhumane torture.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I like the RPG elements to it just because of the fact that it gives you a reason to keep doing stuff. to stay in the
Now
game.
this was a better fighting game than his Flying Dragons.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. Absolutely not. Dolphin kick. Kamehameha wave. I don't know.
Definitely a better game. I put way too many hours in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
I loved the RPG in this and Energize.
Yeah, the whole going into the tower thingy or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Which there was like a long stint of games that had like a tower that you had to go into. It was weird.
But that's pretty cool, though. Honestly, it's a good idea. Whoever had it and people
Well,
taking it.
No, it wasn't a
Okay.
bad idea. I just think it was weird, like how many people did the simple idea of like RPG tower thing. Like it would be tacked on to. I'm sorry, what was I talking about?
I don't know. I got distracted.
I did too.
Maybe we should watch somebody who's not Tifa fight. Because this day and age, she gets censored.
Yeah, no kidding.
What? And the thing is that's actually insulting too. I mean, I am not one of those bodacious babes, but they exist. I have met them. I know them. We're not
You got
necessarily
any of their numbers?
I was about to say we're not necessarily friends, but I've no, it's hard out there for girls, man. But there are girls who are ridiculously endowed. It is a thing, And now, if you don't put a girl like that in the game, that's one thing. But if one exists in the game already, and then to take her out and say that's not reality, see, this is where we have a problem, my guy. This is where we're gonna have a little bit of a fight because you're wrong, and you're what would they call? How would they say it? You're erasing their existence.
Where's
And
their
Oh,
representation,
Yoko.
right?
I enjoyed Yoko. She was fun to play. Sorry. She's a cop.
Yeah,
This is a yo-yo.
that is a very Japanese thing. I could see actually being a thing.
What?
A cop using a yo-yo instead of any sort of.
Yeah, but that yo-yo was fire. Let me tell you, start walking the dog, you better watch out.
Yeah, no, I remember she was broken because she could just keep you away from her and just. If she got you in a corner or against a wall, nope, it's over.
Anyway, good stuff.
You know what I'd like to see? This just popped into my mind. I would love to see Mutant League boxing.
Mutant League boxing.
That's not a thing. It's not a thing.
Okay.
Mutant League hockey,
I was
Mutant
waiting
League-
for that to be an old game somewhere.
No, Mutant League hockey and football are a thing, and they were absolutely a blast on the Sega. But
Sega.
Anyway, it is that time. I got stuff to do tomorrow, so I got to get up early. Anyway, so I'm going to turn into a pumpkin, which means we have to sign off.
Well, thank you all for attending. We've appreciated you.
All
What
that
they
good
said.
stuff. So, links, of course, for everybody's in the description down below. And we do this every Friday, except for the Fridays that it doesn't happen, which you will only know if that happens if you follow me on Twitter X. So, because
To follow Zio to find out what's going to happen, guys.
Yeah, or the guy down there, he usually says something too sometimes.
yeah,
If you go and follow his channel, he'll say it live on air at some point, maybe. He did last time, so
that's true.
yeah. Well, not yesterday's stream because you didn't talk at all, apparently. But the stream before that, you did.
That was a test.
It was a test. A test. Now,
The
but links for
emergency broadcast
everybody
system.
is in the description down below. And this has been Gaming with a Side of Salt, episode 32. And I have no idea what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm sure there'll be more things in the mind. So show up, do all the things, and look forward to that.
Bye.
Anybody else want to shout anything out? No?
I'm still not suffering through. I'm still playing Okami. I like it. I just the brush mechanics are not my favorite. It's so much brushwork, and the controller
We
does
should have
not.
talked about Ori. Anyway,
No. Oh my gosh, that whole thing. Oh yeah.
I don't even
that
know
was
if it's in the mines.
I
Uh,
sent it to you to put in the mines, I think, but maybe
Yeah,
I
but I'm
didn't.
also at work most of the time, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
it's like do your own darn mining, man. Get your own tots. Yeah, but I'm playing through that. It's still fun, just so many people talking, so many voices do. I have lost my voice after 2 hours because it's so much talking in that game. And then all these voices, and you have to do them correctly. So yeah. Anyway,
Then don't watch me.
okay, I
Okay.
have to do them correctly as an auteur. So yeah. But anyway, tune in on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. All the other stuff, do the math. I don't know. And that's it for me right now.
All right, Chad, you got anything upcoming?
What are
It's
you playing,
all-
man?
It's all up in the air, to be honest with you.
So Monday he's going to be playing Sparking.
Really?
Yes, with
Why
me
not?
live.
I might
And we're
do
going to
some.
go and make sure he turns off his auto block settings and his
I already
items.
did before we even started. I immediately was like, yeah, screw that. If I'm going to lose, it's going to be on me. If I win, it's going to be on me.
If you
Yeah, we
lose, it
found
must be
that
with
out
honor.
because I think I had charged him with something, and he just he just blocked it, and he's like, "Wait a second, is this blocking?" And then I did it again, and it just blocked for him. It's like, dude, you have auto block on. And he's like,
Yeah.
what? It's like, yeah, I discovered that setting this exact same way earlier.
That is really not cool. I would take off like a half a point over that. Just guys. I mean, if you're
But-
gonna do easy mode, at least make it so that you have to look for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is kind of a punishing game because everybody's stuck on the monkey. So
Which I don't get, because, by the way, not even the blocking. He has a sequence that if you do, he will barely hit you.
well, I don't know what that sequence is, but I did finally beat him. So I came up
Well,
with
I
my own
used it on you, by the way.
I don't know what it is. Because, what, Solar Flare?
Yeah. It
Oh,
plays just like
I
the
tried
show.
using it on him and it didn't even work.
Yeah, it plays just like
Go
the
on.
show.
Go. Hold up. I'm coming out. I'll be out there in a second. Go. Take your brother with you. Oh my gosh. Just let him go at this point. He's going to die. I'm trying to sign off this thing.
All right.
All
I
right,
guess we gotta
so
go now.
with that, it's time to go. So we will see y'all in the next
Theo's not
one.
raising children, he's raising hams.